Do if this happens at your student's school? Joining us is Ibrahim Firat with Firat Education with answers. Good morning.
Good morning, Sally.
Well, Ibrahim, I cannot imagine the excitement and all the planning that goes into going to college, and then you get there and the university says you need to go home to learn now. Do most colleges have these contingency plans in place, and what do they look like?
So what we've seen in the last couple of days is UNC Chapel Hill, Notre Dame, and Michigan State reclosed campuses and went fully online just a few days into the fall semester. If that happened in other institutions, as we're preparing to reopen some of our campuses in Texas, it's a matter of when, not if. Most colleges will close their campuses and dorms unless some magic happens. The cases in these three colleges shows that dorms can easily become hotbeds for the virus. And without in-person instruction, there's no reason for students to continue living in these crowded spaces. So hopefully, colleges will give students more notice than in March, when students at some colleges just had a few days to return home. After the dorms close, I expect some campus resources to remain operational in a limited capacity. But essentially, they're going to be forced to either go home, or if they're already home, just stay at home and just participate online.
And Ibrahim, it's ignited a new debate over whether there should be tuition refunds if you are not attending in-person class. Are you seeing that many universities are going to give a tuition break or even a break on housing and meals?
If you asked me this question in May, I would have said no way. But what's happening now is, as this drags on, some colleges have started giving tuition discounts in the event that they are going online, while most institutions are still holding on to the full tuition rates because, again, they're still delivering their services or their educational services online. But what they have been doing since March is, if they were sent home, they refund the housing and dining fees because they're not being used.
Okay, so how can students prepare so that they feel like, okay, if this happens, I'm ready, I have a plan?
So students should plan to be sent home in the first weeks of the semester and make contingency plans. If at all possible, I recommend students to stay home and register for classes that are already offered online. For those who must return to campus, pack light for college and be physically and mentally prepared to head home on a few days' notice. Remember that your campus reopening doesn't equate to a free-for-all. You must familiarize yourselves and stay within set guidelines established by the university, whether that means wearing a mask on campus or gathering limitations. Especially after the reclosing of some of these colleges this past week, I expect other colleges to be more strict with their disciplinary consequences. So students who are not in compliance can be forced to take online classes or sent home, even if the classes are still offered on campus.
I see. Okay. Ibrahim Firat with Firat Education. Appreciate your insight as always. Take care. We hope you have a good rest of the week.
Thanks. You too.